Charlie Bonnick here with UCCS Athletics, here with Elijah Ross of the UCCS men's basketball team. First off, Elijah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Now, last weekend you guys went 2-0 for the first conference action. Really, what did you guys learn from that 2-0 weekend?
We learned that if we put two big games together, we put a winning effort together, that we can beat anybody, and that anything in our mat can happen, and that no games are guaranteed.
And just looking back at those games, Black Hills State, a little bit more of a lead, but that game against South Dakota Mines, it was a close game. You guys won by 2. Really take me through, both of those games for the weekend.
Both teams are great teams, especially for us starting off the conference play. But I think the two teams played different types of basketball. Black Hills kind of pushed the ball, pushed the tempo, and shot a lot of threes, kind of got out and ran. But Mines had a different kind of set up in how they ran their offense and how they played defense, which is a good tribute to see how we can defend both sets of teams. And it was really just one. At any moment in time, a team can get hot, and that's what we saw at the end of the South Dakota School of Mines game. So, yeah.
And yourself had a great weekend, putting up a lot of points, a lot of rebounds, a lot of assists. Really, what's your role coming into this year, and how have you gotten better through off-season?
I'd say my role on the team is to distribute the ball as best as I can and to lead. Even being a sophomore, coach gives me that responsibility to be a leader on the team and also to find the open guys. And then this year, more importantly, work on my defense and defend better.
And just talking a little bit about this team, it's been a little bit of different rotations, situations, and starting lineups. Really, how is that helping this team with having a deep bench?
This year, more than any team I've ever actually played on, we can start almost anybody on the court, and out of our players, anybody has a chance to have a breakout game. Like, as we've seen, we've had, I think, different leading scorers each and every game that we've had. So it really it makes everybody else comfortable knowing that the next guy who's subbing in for you is going to do what you just did and can fulfill the role.
Now, this weekend, you guys are back on the road. You guys are playing Chadron State and then Regis. But looking at that Chadron State game, really a new team. What do you guys know about them, and what's going to be the X factor for this weekend?
I honestly just watched film on them, and I haven't really seen many of the same guys. I know they have a few other guys, so it's kind of just going with whatever the scouts, what coach's scout is, and then just kind of playing and having a feel out there, but not overlooking any opponent or not being feared of any opponent either, and going out every game and just playing how we play.
And you guys had a long week of practice. What's been the practice mentality? How have you guys been practicing? What have you guys been focusing on in practice?
I think the main thing we focus on in practice is game speed and game-like mentality, that we're not walking through stuff, we're not jogging through plays, and we're going full speed and we're competing at a high level, and that not everybody is going to fulfill the same role on the team, but everybody's role is important, and that everybody should do their role in practice so it can be 100% in the game.
And just looking, Chadron State about 6 hours away, so you guys are probably leaving around Thursday or Friday, but just kind of looking at that, what's the toughest part about going on the road and not being on that same schedule as you would be at home?
I think going on the road it's tough because we're on a bus for about 6 hours, and so your legs get a little tired and you get a little not jet lag because you're on a bus, but you get that feeling that you're sitting down for a while and you're not getting to stretch your legs a lot. But I think that you get really anxious, and unlike the home atmosphere, you get to get shots up like game time. But you're on the bus for so long that sometimes you kind of just like your mind starts to go away. But I think that we do a good job of like talking to each other and like just having a good time and like relaxing and letting our minds like not think about the game until it's game day on the road.
And then just looking at this week, it's also, semester's almost closing up. It's dead week. Really, what is the hardest part being a student athlete?
I'd say the hardest part about being a student athlete is balancing your time to do your homework, study, and go to class, and then getting in the gym and getting up extra shots and balancing that with practice, because some guys have practices right after class. Some guys have classes at night, and so there's times where guys are having to like study, eat, and then go to class, study, eat, go shoot, and it just can kind of it can be difficult. But I think that we've all started to kind of get a little sense of how we need to go about handling our days in order to be successful.
And just talking about this weekend a little bit more, and you guys really don't have a number one scoring option. A lot of people can get the job done. So how nice is that, just knowing that everyone can score on this team?
It's nice knowing that at any moment anybody can score, so you never feel like you have to pass the ball to somebody to get them shots, or you never feel like you have to defer to somebody else, and that anybody at any chance can have the confidence to shoot the ball or attack the rim, knock down open threes, and then everybody feels like they can get each other involved in that. I think that on our bench part and just like the environment from off the court, like we get everybody involved and everybody gets excited. And I think this year more than last year even, we have a more of a bond to get everybody excited and get everybody hype in the game.
And taking a look at last year, you were a true freshman playing many crucial minutes last year. So taking a look at last year and this year, what's really stepped up on your game, and how much is your confidence built?
I'd say the most important thing is just defending. I've seen that is a huge thing for me from last year to this year. The game has picked up a lot more, but it's slowed down offensively, and I know that I don't have to make $1 million plays, and I can just hit singles and don't have to hit home runs. And I know that if I'm doing what I have to do, everybody else is doing their job, and I don't have to worry about everybody else. And that's what's good about this team, is everybody has a role that they fulfill.
Well, there you have it. Elijah Ross of your UCCS men's basketball team taking on Chadron State and Regis on the road this weekend. Elijah, good luck.
Thank you.